enough spine to survive. Every screen tells me who to be, selling shame like currency. Try to lock me in a narrow frame, but I don't burn by borrowed flames. Feet on the ground, chest held high. I hear the noise, I hear the lies. Push me back, I push through. I don't need permission to be true. They don't get to tell me who I am. I stand my ground, I make my stand. No shame, no fear, I draw the line. This is my voice, this life is mine. I am, I am, I am. No shame, no fear, I draw the line. Labels fly like open fire. Every word just feeds the pyre. Pick a side, stay in your lane. Smile quiet, hide the pain. But I was built from sweat and will, from broken nights and standing still. I won't bow to every trend. I know where I start, I know where I end. Feet on the ground, chest held high. I hear the noise, I hear the lies. Push me back, I push through. I don't need permission to be true. They don't get to tell me who I am. I stand my ground, I make my stand. No shame, no fear, I draw the line. This is my voice, this life is mine. I am, I am, I am. No shame, no fear, I draw the line. I am not your headline, I am not your trend. I define the man I am from beginning to end. This life is They don't get to tell me who I am. I stand my ground, I make my stand. No shame, no fear, I draw the line. This is my voice, this life is mine. I am, I am, I am. No shame, no fear, I draw the line.
Hey, guys. How goes everything? Wow, do I have stories for y'all. Welcome back, my glorious Tater Nation. It is so good to have you. And of course, it's me, your friendly neighborhood potato, peeking out from beneath the soil from my underground mining trip to watch the world grow and occasionally trip over its own shoelaces, right? And you know us potatoes, we have lots and lots of eyes. We like watching all the interesting things that humans do up top. And boy, how do have I missed you guys. From culture to politics, from history to the headlines, from common sense to complete nonsense, breaking it down as only a potato can. Today, we're going to be digging into the trip that I took, brushing off my dirt, and taking a good hard look at what really happened back in the gold rush days. So grab a seat, grab a snack, preferably a potato, and let's see what the world looks like today through a potato's eye. And as always, it's good to see you guys. All right, so let's see. Who do we have? Mr. B started out the chat, looks like, 10 minutes prior to the show. Thank you very much for being here, guys. Chaos, it's so good to see you guys. Vosh Schmidt, thank you very much for the engagement, buddy. Good to see you. Good to see you. All right. So, if you didn't know, I went to a week-long vacation of sorts and was hoping to find gold, right? And I did. I found a little bit of gold, which was exciting. But the history that I learned while I was there was much more exciting and interesting to me. So, of course, before we get started into all that goodness, I will go ahead and start my day out with our funny stuff, as I usually do. All right, so let's see. Tater tots or French fries? Tater tots or French fries? I don't know. Let's see. The fun Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, right. Let's see. That would be 2 p.m. now. Yep. I need to update that. I was doing the description and noticed that. Anyway, welcome in, guys. Thank you very much for the engagement. All right, so let's see. What do I have for funny? I saved a lot of stuff because it's been a long time. And so what is funny and what is not? All right, let's get over here. Let's stop right. Oh, let's see. What do we got? This is funny. How's everything been going, guys? It's been a long time since I've seen everybody. Long time. A lot longer than I expected it to be. All right, let's see.
And very outspoken about the threat AI. Professor, you've been very outspoken about the threat AI poses. Can you explain your stance to the average American?
What's going on?
I'm sorry, what?
I'm sorry.
Can you explain your stance on AI to the average American?
Certainly. To be clear, I'm not anti-AI. I just believe I believe AI needs to be properly regulated.
Exactly.
Professor, is there a problem?
Yeah.
Yeah?
There's a gentleman in your audience who looks strikingly similar to Beavis.
Now, I didn't watch a whole lot of Beavis and Butthead, but I recognize Beavis and Butthead. Curious how many people in the chat, if anybody's engaging. How many people have watched Beavis and Butthead back in the day?
The cartoon Beavis and Butthead. It's just a little distracting.
I'm not familiar with that cartoon, but would it help if he moved seats?
Yeah, that might be a good idea. It's the gentleman in the blue shirt and blonde pompadour.
Blonde pompadour.
Sir, do you mind moving?
They can't even keep a straight face.
You're talking about me? I have no idea what's going on. I'm sorry.
I have no idea what's going on.
Yes, can you move the seats?
I know, right? Yeah,
sure,
it
I'm
was so
sorry.
long ago.
I've never heard of that cartoon character. So.
I've never heard of that cartoon.
And you really never watched Beavis and Butthead when you were a teenager?
No, I was pretty, so I was going to parties and
I
hooking
was
up.
pretty. So.
Now, Professor, if AI is left
Isn't that the
unregulated,
truth?
what is your worst case scenario?
Well, in simplest terms, it becomes so intelligent that it deems humans unnecessary and kills us all.
But if human beings created the AI, can't we just program it to not do that?
Well, it depends. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Are you serious?
What? I think that's a valid question.
No. Now there's a gentleman behind you that looks like Butthead.
Professor, just because our audience members aren't as informed on the issue as you doesn't make them buttheads.
Butthead from the cartoon.
I'm not calling him a butthead. The butthead girl from the cartoon. Wait until you see this chick when she realizes when she looks back, they must not have told her. It's fucking classic. Hey, apprentice, good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you very much, sir. It is good to be back with all of you guys. Where's all my crew? Let's get it going so I can share my debrief with everybody. Share the stream, guys. Like the stream if you haven't yet.
He's Beavis' friend.
I'd really like to move on and discuss AI, so would you like him to move?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. The
Thank
man
you.
with the gray shirt and exposed gums.
Sir, kindly move seats.
She's talking to you.
Oh, I'm sorry, me? I am so sorry. I'm confused. I'm just here to learn about AI. But
Y'all remember when Detroit
Oh
had
man, that gets me every single time. It's so funny. All right, so let's see what else do I got. This guy's always good. I don't know if you got good again. If you don't know Nick Friatis, he's a good guy. Seems to be working for the good side here. Let's see what does he have for what little bit of knowledge does he have for us today?
just checking in on the British Police Service.
My case can stop there. I need officer, hurry up.
Oh yes, this clip because female officers so effective.
I'm going to be honest. I don't know what happens next, but I'm pretty sure that white guy is about to be arrested.
Probably. I'm sorry, but I did I roll my eyes out loud? Indeed, sir. Punishment. Yeah, I think that was an SNL skit. And if it wasn't, it was pretty good. Let's see, what was it? Now that you ask, or now that you say that, what was it? Saturday Night Live. Yep. That's should be expected. Yep. All right, let's see. What else do we got? This is I don't know if this is funny or if this is terribly tragically funny or what. I don't know. Oh, come on. There it is. Oh, crap. Hey, you want this seat? Here, you can have it. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, shit. You set me up for the deal. What did you do? You gotta stop recording in the gym, guys. Ladies, anybody that's recording in the gym, stop it. At this point in time, it's over. It's done. It's been a while since an SNL actually been funny, but that was actually funny. I know, right? That was actually pretty good. I miss the old days of SNL. That I do for sure. Let's see. What else do we have? This is interesting. I don't know exactly what to think about this one. So if you've ever seen a fire, in fact, I went through a couple of fire areas. I didn't go through the fires. Me and my buddy that was driving me. And on that note, I guess this episode is sponsored by Advanced HVAC in Utah. That is the gentleman who owns the company that took me out to do this trip. So in essence, he is the one who made this possible. So if you're in the Utah area around I don't even know what area that he would cover per se. But if you're ever in Utah and you need HVAC, let me know and I'll see if he covers you. But dude is a good guy, has a good company, does good job. Like he's killing it. He might not even be able to do anything. I don't know. Every time I see, I'd give you a shout out. He's like, oh, I don't know if I could take on any more work. So maybe he doesn't have any work. But dude made this possible. So I'm giving him this fucking shout out either way. Anyway, let's see what this has. So again, if you've ever seen a fire, this is interesting. Okay, so like I mentioned, a couple of my buddies drove through a fire, was sending us pictures of flames and all this shit. But I went through a fire area, saw the devastation of a fire, what it does in a wildfire. Now, if you can notice in this picture, and as it drives past these houses, what used to be houses, and the trees around them, so a whole house burnt down to absolute cinder. And the trees around it are almost unaffected. Kind of interesting. if you ask me, right? Chaos says, time to drive home. I'll be lurking and listening. Have a great show. Well, that's fair. Please drive careful. It is getting crazy out there on the roads these days. Anybody that ever drives, please be careful. So as it shows this, check this out. This is interesting. So where houses should have stood, they're not. And we have complete trees that are practically untouched. We have whole cars that are melted. Entire cars that are melted. But the tree next to it is not in cinders. This is interesting. Again, another whole car basically completely done away with without the tree next to it toppled, at least from the fire eating away from the bottom of it. So, if you're having to deal with that, my heart goes out to you. My prayers go out to you. Please take care of yourselves out there because of this kind of tragedy. It is not a good thing. I'm not sure exactly what would cause something like that. I have my theories. On the idea of fires, I saw this and found it quite interesting. I don't know who's doing this. This is apparently in a little place in Idaho, I guess. IdahoNews.com is where this is saying. If you're out harassing fire people, what the?
Officials on the Tartar fire say Monday night fire crews had to pull out of the Devil's Elbow area because they were being harassed and threatened. A reminder, when you see firefighters out on the job, give them the space they need to fight the
harassing firefighters. To the point where they had to remove their crews from fighting a fire that's probably threatening your property, and if not your property, someone's property. When a firefighter has to go out to the location, it is not a controlled fire. Why? It's a firefighter. If they're doing their job, leave them alone. Hey, Static Age Show. Good to see you, man. I appreciate the welcome back. It's so good to see you guys. I appreciate the engagement. And again, if you don't know, Static Age has his own show, and I haven't been able to catch up on the last couple shows that he had, but they look super interesting. I'm not going to lie. And if it's not your cup of tea, it's not your cup of tea, but go check it out. Go see if it's something you'd like to check out, because it's probably pretty interesting from the looks of it. Getting back to this, though.
Those fires. Officials say crews will have to disengage from the fire if those actions continue. Officials on the Tartar fire.
So I don't know what you're doing if you're harassing firefighters. It is wild to me. Speaking of Idaho, like, what the hell? How many people heard about that? Yeah. In and out in a little Twin Falls, Idaho. What the hell? Like, I don't know how many people heard about that, but that was wild. It was somewhere that I had to basically drive kind of next to on my way out to my trip. So that was interesting to hear about that as we were going through it. But yeah, anyway, so if you hadn't heard about that, maybe I'll do a little bit of research on exactly what all happened with that, because I lost service right after it all happened. I was like, oh, what was going on with that as we were driving through it, and then we went into the mountains and stuff. But anyway, let's see. What else do I have? Oh, this is interesting. So in Hawaii, there has been 120 acoustic monitoring devices. Now, what is an acoustic monitoring device, you might ask? Well, that's a microphone. That's something that you're looking at right in front of me. It captures my voice as I talk into it, and it sends it down a little wire to you in my crowd to hear my voice. So what the hell are they listening to in little old Hawaii with 120 monitoring devices? That's probably not voice sound I can use. This installed around Maui. on behalf of Hawaiian Electric. That's wild stuff. Wild stuff. Hey, PharmaCat, it's good to see you. I saw you chatting in the while I was gone, asking where I was and making fun of me because I was having fun. Yeah, I understand. It wasn't that much fun. I'll assure you that much. I'm just kidding. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of hard work though too. And I'll share my experiences when I learned and how much I collected here in a bit as soon as I get through all of this rigmarole. But I was able to actually pan and find gold. A little old potato. So I will not lie. It was exciting to see it. But I am so good. I am so glad. I am so good. Yes, I am good. No, I am so glad to be back. And I'm so glad to see you guys. Hey, Jess the Shepherdess, thank you very much for the welcome back. Again, it is really good to see you guys. I know, right? I know, Cat. Who let me have fun? Advanced HVAC in Utah. If you ever need HVAC in Utah, he might be the one to call. I don't know. We'll see. So this is again in Maui, right? So installed under Hawaiian Electric Company, Maui Avian Habitat Conservation Plan. Microphone records within audible range. Basically, if you can hear it, the microphone can hear it, including human voices. Data analysis by conservation. So basically, this is being instituted as a wildlife monitoring device so that they can monitor wildlife. But if it can hear wildlife, it can hear the voices of what's going on around it. And it just so happened to be in Maui. Interesting, right? It's kind of interesting to me. This was interesting to me as well. Let me see. What do we got? Oh, of course, I didn't hit the sound.
North Carolina with a long rap sheet, multiple prior arrests, now accused of a new murder and other gun charges. Didn't take long either. It happened about 90 minutes after he was released on bond for a different offense, and police
90 minutes after dude was released because we gotta be soft on crime. Gosh, golly, we can't hurt their psyche. It's time to hurt their psyche or whatever the hell we need to do to stop this. 90 minutes after the dude was released after this many arrests. Doesn't even look like the same person, but the stare just gives it away. It's always in the eyes. Always in the eyes, Chico. Hey, JB, good to see you, man. Good to see you. I appreciate the engagement, buddy. Hope you're doing all right.
He got in an argument with two people in Charlotte last week, lay in wait for them and shot them. One person dead, the other injured.
Freaking wild. Wild stuff, man. That's why I suggest everyone goes through the process that you have to do to legally possess and comfortably utilize that tool, because that's what it is. It is a tool, and if you don't utilize it properly, it can seriously cause damage. Just like Apprentice, I believe, was the one who gave the analogy of using a hammer, and if you hit your finger and you don't pay attention to that and you move up your hand, you can just get used to the hammering. Basically, we need to stop getting used to the hammering. Hey, thank you very much, JB. I'm really glad you're doing well, man. Thank you very much for the welcome home. It's good to be back. It really is. Now, this is something I've been seeing, and it looks like it's for a release of a new show coming out from Netflix. And I've been kind of really curious if anybody else has heard about this show, this movie, anything about this that I'm not hearing about, because this is the first I'm seeing it. The Last House is, I'm assuming, the movie, the title of the show, whatever. And this is a billboard with a gentleman that is actually locked inside of this box. works according to what he states. So there's a video that I watch, and he pulls up a sign that says, "I'm trapped in here." So my question is, how long have they had a house on a billboard? Does it have running water? Does he have the ability to use the restroom? And if he doesn't, then he has to be able to come down from there. If he can come down from there, then he isn't really trapped. And how long can you survive? It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense as far as the billboard goes. That's why I'm curious if anybody's heard about the show, The House, or The Last House, to see if anybody knows the premise, because I'm too lazy to go check it out. I'm just kidding. It's not that I'm lazy. I have not had service for a week, and it has been a struggle being disconnected from the real world. Actually, it was really nice to be able to get out into the real world and see the sights that the place that I went to had. It was really exciting to see what all happened back in the gold rush days. And I'll get to that here probably right after this, because there's way too much to cover of both my funny shit and this, for that matter. And I don't want to wait for too long for everybody to join. So we'll just cover this real fast and then we'll go to that. But like I said, he obviously has books and magazines, and I would assume coffee, maybe? I don't know. So again, I'm curious, because I think I Googled it, or somebody Googled it, and I saw that he has running water. He has the ability to have a bathroom. I want to say that he has to come down. But anyway, Jennifer Lackard, the Mount Vernon DEI hire deputy police commissioner, is now facing attempted charges for helping her affiliated son. Holy crap! Well, I appreciate the feedback, Chaos Theory. That is interesting. Jennifer Lackard. I'll have to do some research onto that one, because that's interesting. My buddy was also telling me a similar story of that area. I can't remember the story, so I won't necessarily spew nonsense, but it was, things are getting weird with the police force, guys. And the fact that we have the mass surveillance being implemented more and more these days is getting more and more concerning, for sure. I do have to show this real quick before I get on to my stuff. Again, Nick Freitas, he's just hilarious. And this was, I found, just perfect.
Right, here it is.
What are we doing?
What are we doing?
Somebody asked me what my favorite kitchen appliance was.
Oh, that poor bastard. He will be missed. Just kidding. Anyway. Oh, shit. That's funny. Farmer Cat says, every year I go off grid for a few weeks camping with no self-service, no roads, so we take a chopper in. Holy fuck! There you go again, just rubbing it into my face, aren't you? Chopper in. I love being out of communication. Well, that's awesome, Farmer Cat. That is phenomenal. That is awesome. That is awesome. All right, so real quick, who in the chat might know of what's known as hydro mining? What they did back in the day was known as hydraulic mining or hydro mining. I'm curious if anybody knows what that is before I get really started into my experiences. All right, so let's see. What do I got? What do I want to show you here? Because I don't necessarily want to show everything. All right. So when I started, I don't know when the last time I saw a public phone booth was, but apparently they still utilize the phone booths themselves for the power, I guess, to give Wi-Fi communicate, like Wi-Fi hotspots. So as we were going down this, the river and things like that, you would see like white phone boxes or blue phone boxes, but it would be for Wi-Fi hotspots, not for phone. Which tripped me out every time I'd see it. I was like, oh, there's a phone. What the fuck? Oh, right. It's a Wi-Fi hotspot. Hey, Crucible Crusader. Good to see you, man. I appreciate the engagement. I hope you're doing well, buddy. And again, if anybody hasn't heard, I was gone for a week, and it is fucking good to be back. I've missed you guys. I shared a link regarding the police commissioner in your submit topics. Awesome. Thank you very much for that. And if you're not part of my Discord, all of these photos and videos that I took of my trip will be obviously edited and things like that, but be placed into my Discord for people to view as they would like to. But I would like, I will be making sure that my friends stay anonymous and things like that. But the one that I went to go visit, he does this, like, he allows people to go do this as an experience for outside of the area. He doesn't take locals. And so probably it'll be like vetting process to make sure you're not a local. But basically, long story short, if you would like to go experiencing panning for gold, this is a possible experience for anybody to go on that is outside of the local area that the poor guy is in. And I haven't necessarily gotten the full permission to share all the details. So if you do end up wanting to, just get a hold of me through the Discord or something like that, and I'll see if it's something that he'd be still willing to do. But it is something that, because I had the right friends and the right connections, and again, advanced HVAC, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have been able to do this, because it's like $500 a day to go down into this this particular claim and be able to pan for gold and be able to experience the history and things like that. So it is a possibility. It's not something like a lot of people know about. Read about hydro mining, but never watched much about it. Exciting stuff. It is, Vosh. I had never heard about it. I never even knew what it was until this trip. And since then, I did a little piece, and I'll be talking about it when I get done with my experience. And it's just fascinating to see what they did back in the day and the devastation of it. Aftermath, for sure. Hey, Werewolf, how many tater dad jokes am I allowed today? I don't have a limit. I don't know if you had a limit while I was gone, but it's good to see you, Werewolf. All right, let's see. Wi-Fi, good to see you, buddy. You got a picture of a Yeti on your trip? Dang it! There was a Yeti. In fact, there was a couple of Yetis, because this particular area apparently was known for Yetis. I don't know, but there was a couple of places. Like there was an RV park that I really want to go buy. That was $100,000 or $150,000 is all it was, or something like that, for a whole business. And it was called the Bigfoot RV Park or something like that. But it was fun. I had a lot of fun. It really was. Now the math is adding up, and we know Tater might not live in a gold mining area of Utah. That doesn't mean I don't live in a gold mining area of Utah. It just means that I didn't know what the fuck I was doing until this trip. Now I'm going to be looking for areas to go gold mine around my area. I doubt it, but we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, so this was like I said, an old phone booth that they just repurposed to be the Wi-Fi hotspot. And then this was the view of the area. It was awesome. It really was. All right, let's see. Not all the pictures that I had. Okay, so that was the start of the trip. And there was another phone booth. They were kind of all over the place. The scenery that I was seeing. And so this was the outpost that they had there, little before you go up to the actual mountains that you could buy shit at. It was pretty cool. It wasn't my Bud Light. It wasn't my Bud Light. I just was like, that's funny. Drunkards. And then this was the salmon. So this was the river that, it was just, just gorgeous, just clear. So this was where I was standing, and I zoomed in from there. So we went from that elevation down to that river is what we ended up doing. It was gorgeous. It was a gorgeous area. So I took a lot of pictures of the area, where I was, what I was doing, so that you guys could see kind of what I was dealing with there. So this was the actual trek that we went down. So as you can see, it wasn't much of an actual trail here, but it gave us a walking path to get down, I guess. but we had to climb over trees and all sorts of stuff. But you can see how far down it still was to the river, because right there is the river. And we had to climb over trees and all that bullshit. So this here was, so you'll be able to see the actual stones so this was a rock. Oh, you son of a boomer. This was the rock field that was just up from the river. And back in the day, they had removed all of this stone from the river to mine for gold, to pan for gold. And so I didn't take enough pictures, unfortunately. I wasn't thinking about pictures. I was just thinking about the experience, which is what I've always done until I started my podcast. So bear with me until I get into the habit of documenting everything that I do. But you can see how much stone was removed from the river from behind me and around, what the hell, and around me. But there was a campsite right up in this area up here where you can see the trash from all the old miners and the way that they had taken these stones and tried to redirect the flow of the river, or probably did redirect the flow of the river to get the gold to go where they wanted it to go. And it was still a good 200 yards from the river now. So how much more water was in the river back in the day than it is today, right? So we had to trek over the rock field, and then I'll flip around the camera here in a second and show you, kind of tell how far it is to the river. And you can see, so at that point, the water must have been close enough that they were pulling those. I mean, that's a decent trek to be moving some of those rocks. And some of them were Volkswagen-sized boulders underneath all that rock. So the effort that it took to get them out of that river and up onto that hillside to either redirect or just to get to the gold or whatever the case was at the time is immense to me. And then the trek that we had to take to get there. So every time this gentleman wants to go down this, and this would be where you would be going if you were to pay that $500. So it's $500 to go work. But when you get there, this is this is the sight you get to see when you get down onto the river. I mean, that is fucking gorgeous. I'm not going to lie. That is a good view right there. And the water was just crystal clear. You could literally just look through the water and see the bottom of the river. And it wasn't like that on some of the other rivers that were around there. It was not clear. But again, taking pictures and videos of the area and what you kind of saw. And then like I was mentioning at the first, when I started my experience, the hydro mining and how they were washing this mountainside down into this river and then redirecting the flow so that all that water would be where they wanted it to go. So again, up on top of the hill. All right, so we're back to the start of that bunch there. And then this is what I collected. So that is actually my pan that I panned out that day on the riverside. It's only like $25 of gold. It's not very much. It's not very much. But it was the experience. Again, it was the fact that I got to go out into the outdoors, and I haven't been outdoors in a long time. And so I'm extremely grateful for my buddy to give me the opportunity to go down there and find this and have this experience to share with you guys. So again, if you would want to, if you've ever thought like, oh man, it'd be exciting to go pan for gold sometime somewhere, it is a possibility. Just like anything else, it just costs you a little bit of money. Let's see. Yeah, Crucible, it is super beautiful, isn't it? Beautiful sights down there where I was. Apprentice, work to earn the right to work, to earn the right to work. Exactly. If you don't know, who is that? You know who it is, Apprentice. the artist on YouTube. We'll give him the shout out. Gold, the said like gold member. Exactly, JB. Oh man. Yeah, right. Static Age. That's funny. Man. And he has quite a few claims. He has a hard rock mine that he has ability to mine as well. But he doesn't have very many people taking him up on the offer for $500 a day, I'm assuming. But he has had a few. They had a video of an old guy climbing that track, I guess, and getting to the top. I didn't see it, but they were showing it to the girl that was with us, one of the girls that was with us, to get her to be willing to take that trek. And it was quite funny. Stupendium, thank you, Apprentice. Yes, Stupendium on YouTube has a song that we were just quoting, and it's good. He's good artist. Crusader says, I go hiking often, love the views of nature. So same here, man. I don't go hiking nearly as much as I would like to. I should go. But yeah, man, I love outdoors. I love the outdoors. And this trip reminded me of how much I really did. Anytime you want to come to Texas, we'll go camping together. That's sweet. Yes. As soon as I get some money and it's not just me bumming off of somebody else, I would definitely love to come to Texas and go see some sights with you and be able to share that experience with the people that want to hear it too. So again, if you guys if you like seeing me go and do things and share experiences that maybe not other people do, and again, I'm always up for suggestions on what to do, where to go, what to talk about. But please think about donating. I don't expect it. I just would like to keep this going, and that may be the best way to do it is donations. So thank you very much for posting that, Dave, and anything helps a great deal. I haven't seen her today, but Emily did donate $100 while I was on vacation, which was more of a blessing than I will ever be able to say. So if I do see her in the chat or if she's lurking, please let me know so we can all tell you W, because seriously, it was what saved my bacon while I was out there. Apprentice says the Outer Worlds song is unsettlingly good. Yeah, the Outer Worlds song. Seriously, where they talk about going to the moon. Good song, Stupendium on YouTube. Hey, Bulldog, good to see you. Appreciate the engagement, man. It's always good to see you guys. All right, so while I was in the town itself, there was a club called the 49ers Club, and I'm assuming it's like the Gold Club, not like the football club. And they're the ones who basically run that town. From what I understand, there wasn't much law that was in that town other than the gentleman that I was going to see. So he essentially has free reign of the town from the sounds of it. But anyway, long story short, while we were in the 49ers Club, I found this little diagram of what they did to hydromine back in the day. And I'll be explaining it a little bit further as I go along, but you can see that they built extensive tracks, extensive ways of getting the water from where they were finding it to where they needed it to be. And they would drive it through extensive series of pipes from high altitude down to the water cannons. Now, if you saw the thumbnail, I did have a water cannon that I took a picture of and put into one of my pictures on my thumbnail, but it was called a monitor. And back in the day, they had 4 monitors that they would put up in strategic sections, and those monitors would wash the mountainside away to reveal the gold bars and nuggets and things that they were trying to find. So they would literally wash mountains away with these water cannons until the gold would come out. Now, when the mountain would be washed away, they would then funnel it down into massive wooden sleuths and catch the gold and then distribute it as it needed to be. So this was after we had gone to the hard rock mine, if I remember right. And this was basically the powder that he gets off of the hard rock mine. So after a while, it takes a good amount of work and things like that these days, they don't seem to find much nuggets anymore. But we would silt all this out, and a lot of this was palladium and aluminum, silver, something, I don't know. He had a lot of precious metals, not just aluminum, not like there was a lot of good metals, palladium, rhodium, I think is what he said, something like that. So he had a lot of good product in this hard rock mine that I got to go and visit and experience the actual work to go in and mine out rocks. And some of the rocks that I got, I took a couple of pictures of. I'm just sitting here at the computer. So this was one of the rocks that I pulled out. I chiseled out myself out of the hard rock mine. And you can see it has some gold there, some pyrite. But you can see that a vein of gold went through this mine. And then there was another small bit here. And then some kind of palladium or silver or something along those lines in that mine as well. And then that was the actual jar that I was able to collect while I was out there. So about 0.5 grams. That's it. Just half a gram of gold for a week's worth of work. And it was a decent amount of work that I put in to try to get that amount of gold. So it's not easy to do, but it was fun. It was a good time. While I was there, I got to see a couple of bears. That was pretty exciting. I don't know, how many bears anybody's have actually gotten to see. I saw two. We saw two. One that was down in the river, like way down there, but it was chomping on a fish. Got a decent video here. We'll see where it's at. I think it was that one probably. Not so great of quality, but I was using my phone, so. And I had it completely, utterly zoomed in. That's how far this bear was from us. We were up on the top of a canyon looking down on him. Big old boar, big old bear, just chomping at a fish. Oh, son of a. And then when he got out, he turned and looked at us. What? You got a problem? And then there was another one that was maybe that was the one that was closer. So there was one that was way closer, and I was able to get a better view of it. Oh, of course, pictures aren't coming in very good, but that was pretty exciting. We'd been looking all week for a bear, and like the last day, we saw two right on the same road. It was pretty crazy. Then this was a pan that one of my buddies had panned. I think it was the gentleman that took me down. So that was the capability of, he got a decent amount. He knew what he was doing. He was able to collect a decent amount. So if you practice up, if you know what you're doing, and he's nice to you like he was nice to me, because he did show me a few places and was like, yeah, those are good places. Don't know if that's what he'll be doing on like the trek down for $500, but he does give it a good rundown of what it's like from what I understand. So he does justice for the $500. And then this was a little button that he smelted while I was there, and was able to see the smelting process and how they did it, or do it now, at least. So there's a little, I think he said magnesium crucible that would react with lead, and it would absorb all the impurities and all of the different metals that wasn't essentially gold, silver, palladium, the valuable metals, the precious metals. So this isn't pure gold, but it is as close to precious metal gold as we could get with the smelting process that we have nowadays or whatever. So this is approximately 18 grams of gold sitting on my fingertip right there. Don't know exactly what that would be in price wise, but that's like $800 minimum. So stupid expensive when you really boil it down to, because again, that powder that I just showed you that I had collected myself is maybe $50 worth. $50 for powder for essentially nothing. And that's spot prices. That's not even the what value is valued at. So if that was 0.5, of actual gold, of pure gold. That's probably closer to $75 to $100 in that little vial of just powder. So this is an actual a monitor, a water cannon that they had. This is again in my thumbnail. I took a picture of this. They had this in their town, so this was one they used there. This headpiece would pivot. It had a three-way basically, so it would pivot from side to side, up and down, and the water would obviously jet out from the front. So they could then essentially pivot that back and forth and wash away mountains. And as they wash those mountains away, it would just take the whole thing with it. Everything would come with it. So here's another decent video of, I think this is the second bear, the closer bear, because it's a little bit better of a quality picture video. So I had a good time. It was a really good time on this trip, guys. So yeah, that was about all that I have for my trip itself. But I'll give you a little bit of rundown on what hydro mining was here in just a second. JB says gold is $4,365 per ounce today. $28 a gram is an ounce. 28 grams is an ounce. Thank you, JB. Sorry, I misspoke there. So 28 grams is an ounce of gold. No, 32. Anyway, long story short, 4,365 per ounce today is correct. So when you're talking about 0.5, even 0.5 grams is $50. So gold is getting more and more valuable each and every day. So if you have gold, if you have true gold, hold on to it. Hold on to it. If you have the capability of getting gold, maybe do so. Crucible, Crusader, appreciate the question. Thank you very much. And I'll take questions and we'll open up the panel afterwards. We'll do the whole bit. You're welcome to ask me how the trip was and things like that, what I did. So I stayed in a hotel for a couple of nights. There was a little tiny local hotel that had like 25 rooms. That's it. And I understand that was like the only hotel other than, like I said, the RV parks and stuff. And it was decent. It was a nice little place. I was able to, it was comped for me because everything, I had no money to go on this trip. Literally the money that you guys gave me for my birthday was like paid bills. And then I took this trip on my buddy's wallet basically, and he paid for everything and did me right and did good job for me. And I ended up spending more money than I wanted to just because I'm a potato and I do that. But long story short, like I said, Emily saved my bacon. So again, if anybody wants to keep seeing these going, I'd appreciate any kind of donation that I can get. But I would have loved to have been able to stay in a cabin, but there wasn't actually any cabins around this area. But it's interesting how they built this area with the idea of the hydro mining itself. So I'll get into a kind of the story that I wrote, or piece, if you will. So when you think about mining, right? When you think about the gold rush, a lot of people think about that one guy in that one picture with the shovel next to the pile of gold on the side of the river, right? Just one dude sitting by the creek. That was part of it, right? A lot of them went down there with just a gold pan and would pull out nuggets in their pants. And it was crazy. But as the easiest gold became harder to find, miners started to look for ways to process far more material than one person could ever move by hand. And of course, back in the day, they didn't have dump trucks. They didn't have backhoes. They didn't have what we have today to keep it cleaner. And eventually somebody had a much bigger idea. And instead, bringing the dirt to the water, why not bring the water to the mountain? So that idea became hydraulic mining. Hydraulic mining used massive streams of high pressure water to break apart huge deposits of gold-bearing clay, gravel, sand, cobbles, and ancient river material. And when you first see an old hydraulic monitor or water cannon, it raises an obvious question. how in the world did they get enough pressure to throw that much water with that kind of pressure and force in the 1800s, right? So again, going back to the monitor that I showed you before, let's see, where am I? There we go. So this monitor with this spout, that's a good 6-inch spout, water with volume enough to move mountains, to wash away mountains. How did they create that much pressure and power without pumps that we have today? Well, the answer is actually one of the most interesting parts of the entire process, in my personal opinion. There we go. They would usually not rely on some giant mechanical pump because they didn't have it. They used gravity. The entire system depended on collecting water at a much higher elevation than the mine itself. Mining companies built reservoirs, ditches, canals, and wooden flumes, as the picture of the diagram that I had shown earlier, where you had that flume and then that drop to get to the monitor. Obviously, that particular diagram was fairly small, so they couldn't really give you the scale at what they were doing and how they were doing it. And so I'll show you kind of what another diagram I had Googled and found some of these pictures here. So this kind of gives you a decent idea. And obviously this is hand drawn, hand painted, but some of the either sleuths or water flumes that I had mentioned earlier down here that was funneling the water from the sleuths and getting it away from the mine itself, or bringing the water to the pipe up here at the top to bring the water at a incline, a steep decline to get that pressure of that much water volume to be able to wash away stone and rock. Like this gentleman here, you can see. And back in the day, obviously they didn't have the best why am I drawing a blank? Gaskets. There we go. This water's just spewing out the back of that monitor. But you can see how much pressure this guy has. And so it's funny because the research that I had watched, or I had looked through real quick trying to prepare for this, because like I said, all week I've been learning about all of this and smelting and all of this process. And it wasn't something I'd been able to research because I didn't have service. So this was all done like last night and this morning. But everything I saw was saying one man could not man these monitors. Because again, going back to this monitor, so my buddy was telling me that this handle here was actually what controlled the head. And a line would go through this eyelet here, be attached to this handle, and then you'd pull that handle back or move it forward, and that would allow this head to shift back and forth. Obviously, none of us were alive back then, so I don't know. But according to these pictures, dude's just holding that front end on his own. That's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of power to be just holding by yourself. And again, another depiction, I'm assuming, just depicting that how they did it, right? There were 4 monitors. Dude, there's one dude cannot possibly be controlling 2 monitors at once. Now, this makes a little bit more sense. This might, with AI these days, who frickin' knows, but this might be a possible geographical picture where dude has a lever on the back and is able to control the front of it, but I still don't know how much I believe of that one. Let's see. JB says overhead water source. Yeah, I know, right? I'm not sure. So a lot of it was they were basically pulling, like they would dig ditches. They would do all the process to bring the water to where they wanted it to be to fill the reservoirs that they wanted where they wanted them to be. So again, I didn't live back then, but thinking about the work that it would have had to be to get water from here up here down this line with enough power and pressure to move. I mean, of course, you know, when you start hitting water in volume onto land, it's going to move eventually. So it would make sense that it didn't take a whole lot of pressure, just volume, to get it to wash away and create this hole that they are in here now. Because I can imagine when they started, this was at the top, and they washed all this down and created this gully here. Hey Stacy, good to see you. Sorry I'm late. I have had some crazy going on with the dogs. No worries. Don't feel like you need to apologize for being late. You're here, and that's all that matters. It's good to see you. I appreciate the engagement. Very much appreciate the engagement. I hope you're doing all right. So again, just crazy to think about what we used to do back in the day to get gold. And even panning now, I didn't like how I was. I was like, ooh, gold, gold, gold. And I'll still do it because gold is what is valuable, but I didn't care for how gold comes across to people. And I can see why it became what it did back in the day. And my buddy would tell me that they would pour like 600-pound blocks of gold. When these miners would clean out their sleuths and things like that, clean out their equipment to gather the gold so that no one could steal this, they would pour it in 600-pound blocks so that two man could pick this thing up and carry it off. That is crazy to me to think that there was that much gold at that time to see what we can collect today. Because there is gold all over the place. Flakes, you know, again, the stuff that I was showing you, I don't hear about nuggets being found. Now, in Alaska and things like that, sure, there might still be nuggets. So I'm not saying that this is something that we can still make rich, you know, strike it rich on. Maybe. But, for example, my buddy was telling me that, like, Kennecott mine. So Kennecott is one of the world's largest names for copper. Whether they're an actual, like, the world's largest copper mine or they own the world's copper, I don't know. But they are one of the world's largest names for copper. When you think of copper mines, Kennecott is one of them. And Kennecott does about 30% of their income, or 30, I remember him saying 30% of something, in gold. But you don't hear about gold as Kennecott's provider of income, right? Similar to when I was working for a company in Vernal, Utah, they provided what's known as centrifuges to the oil field. And we went to a gilsonite mine, and we provided some centrifuges to that gilsonite mine. And when we got those gilsonite centrifuges back, we scraped those, and that had layers of gold in that gilsonite. So there's gold like everywhere. It's just you have to be able to refine it, collect it, whatever the case is. And like this gentleman, like I was just showing you with the powder that he then has to collect. This gentleman has probably pulled $100,000 from that mine. I don't know what he has. I'm not speculating. I'm not going to say what he has and what he doesn't have in there. And that's part of the reason why, like, I'm trying to be careful about his privacy, because people get crazy about this shit. But I find it fascinating that they used to use this kind of thing to wash away mountains to create the gold mines that they have. And when they would wash away these mountains, they would basically, where it would settle and where it would become a plateau, that's where they would build their houses. So a lot of these hydromined mountains became cities and towns and populations because they washed these mountains away. So when they would get done, you would have this kind of a structure when you'd get done. Now, this isn't taken by me. I don't know where this is particularly. I Googled some pictures to show you kind of what like you'd be looking at. And this is what it brought up. So I'm assuming this is a hydromined mountainside. And they just dug away at this mountain with water. And if I remember right, I want to say the mountain with all the presidents on it, I want to say they used a hydrojet for that too. But I could be wrong. Bosch Schmidt says wagon wheel, because I can't pronounce that apparently. Screw pump has moved water efficiently with pressure since the Greek ran the world. And that's exactly it, Vosh. Another reason I bring this up is because we can do things without technology. And we need to start to understand that technology isn't everything that we want it to believe that it is. We want to believe that it is. We have to understand that we have to have some respect for it, because things like this we banned this. Even though we washed down mountains and we created cities and populations, and was that good? No, they banned it. So is technology the best way to go about things? Or should we get to a different way of doing things completely? JB says, I'd pay for the experience even if I only found a tiny bit. Sounds like fun. It wouldn't be fun if my finances depend upon it. That exactly, JB. I appreciate that feedback. And that's exactly it. So there's a lot of people out there that have probably thought about the experience and been like, oh man, that would be fun, because it was. I will never say that it was not an exciting experience. It was very disappointing for me, because I was, like JB said, it wouldn't be fun if my finances depended upon it. And I kind of I was a dumbass. I was a potato, and I knew it. I told them when I came down, I have no expectations. I have no high hopes, and I didn't. But I was really, really, really hopeful that I would find something to be able to turn something in and have something to show, like cash-wise, and still be able to even bring this vial to you and say, yeah, I was able to collect something, and here it is, right? But again, my buddy took somebody else last year, and they panned for the entire week. So I guess they went down to that first part that I showed you down that trek. They went there every day. They trekked that every day. They were troopers. But he panned and he panned and he panned, and I guess he didn't find anything. He didn't even find this. So for me to be able to find this, I feel blessed, right? I want people to understand that, like, I had a lot of fun, but if you're going down there expecting something, that's what you're going to find, right? But like JB says, for the experience, to be able to go there and say, I had the experience, because this is exciting. And if you go with the right person and they give you the history behind it, and you learn something, because again, hydromining I'd never heard of it. And I still have a lot to talk about on it. Hopefully we'll get through it here. But yeah, it's good to be back, guys. Mr. B says 600-pound block. I bet I could move one with one other person. I bet you could be. Bosch Schmidt says, yeah, I know a guy that could lift 600-pound block solo. I know probably one that could probably lift it pretty close to being solo. Yeah, well, Dave, yeah, I got you too, B. I'll figure it out. If we ever find a block that's 600 pounds, I'm figuring it out. Anyway, so the entire system depended upon collecting water, right? If you didn't have water, if you didn't have clean water, the system wouldn't work. And so mining companies built reservoirs, ditches, canals, and wooden flumes that would carry that water for miles across the mountains. The goal was not to let that water fall too early, right? So it was going to have to be water resistant. Wood is not waterproof. So if they're building these wooden flumes and wooden canals, it's going to be hard to keep that water resistant and keep that water from being lost. So they wanted to keep it as high as possible while transporting it toward the mine. That elevation represented stored energy. The higher that you can go with it, the more power, the more volume, the more pressure by the time that it gets to that monitor. So once the water got close to the mining operation, it was transferred into enclosed pipes that dropped toward the mine face below. And this is where gravity became pressure. So if you know anything about volume, that's how you get pressure. Is you use volume or you use gravity. The higher the water source was above the monitor, the greater the pressure that could build at the bottom of that system, like I'd mentioned. As a rough rule, every 2.31 feet of vertical water height creates about 1 pound per square inch of static pressure. If you don't know what a pound per square inch is, if you take an inch cubed, that is 1 pound of pressure. If you take a 3-inch pipe, that is 3 pounds of pressure inside of that 1 inch of that 3-inch pipe. When you're talking about 6-inch pipe at a length of 400 feet, PSI on that is exorbitant amount of pressure. So if you've ever dealt with the oil field at all or gone through the oil field, that is where they get extreme with their pressures. And you have to think about the pressure being per square inch of a 3-inch drill pipe for a mile down hole. Let's see. So JB says, I go figure out the Egyptians' secret while real quick if I found a 600. Exactly. They were moving massive tons of stone around. I would figure it out real quick. That's right. That's right, Bosh. Origins of the log flume ride. That's funny. Hey, Stu, good to see ya. Hydrostatic pressure. Yep. This stuff is wild stuff for sure. So if the water source was 100 feet above the monitor, that could create roughly 43 PSI before accounting for friction and other losses. So as it goes down that pipe, any kind of junction, there's going to be friction as it hits that ledge and it has to tumble over it. At 200 feet, you could be around 87 PSI. At 300 feet, around 130 PSI. At 500 feet, more than 200 PSI. And again, this is pounds per square inch. That is an incredible amount of pressure created simply by elevation and the weight of the water itself. But pressure was only half of the equation. They also needed volume. A tiny pipe might create pressure, but it could not continuously supply thousands of gallons of water every minute. And while you're mining, water is your best friend. If you don't have enough going over your sleuth, your gold is not going to do what it's supposed to do. Your water, your gravel, your dirt is not going to do what it's supposed to do. Add air into the pipe and you get more pressure. Yep. So the mining companies built large water delivery systems capable of feeding these monitors continuously. The reservoirs gave them volume. The elevation gave them the pressure that they needed, and the pipes connected the two. The monitor turned all of that into a concentrated jet that they could direct at their command. And once that pressurized water reached the monitor, it was forced through the nozzle and accelerated into a powerful stream. Historical hydraulic mining systems could move enormous amounts of water and throw that stream at extremely high speeds. And it is important to understand what they were actually attacking. They were not normally carving through solid granite like a laser cutting through stone. They were working giant deposits of ancient river gravel and sediment. So again, like I'd mentioned, it's not going to take a lot of pressure because the volume is just going to erode that face away. The water would attack the face of the deposit, loosen the supporting material, wash away clay and gravel, and undercut sections of the bank. Then gravity would take over. Huge sections would collapse, and the miners would hit the fresh material again, wash it, undercut it, and collapse it, and repeat the process over and over. Some large mines even use several monitors at the same time. Like I mentioned, they would use 4 strategically placed around the mountain to wash the mountain down, and then would then use the flat spots to create their houses out of. Stu says, usually you have to relieve the air. I was right first time, sorry. Or you get ticking time bomb of those pipes. Yeah, exactly. It magnifies if it's under and a large volume of water. Yeah. Oh, it's super. Yeah. If they can get it to funnel, it's going to increase the pressure a great deal. Mr. B says, yeah, but how do they add air to the pipe in the 1840s when they first started doing this? Yeah, exactly. All right. So, okay. So, and then it really shows how massive the entire water system had to be at the time. In the 1800s, each monitor required a continuous supply of water. They don't have the pumps that we do now. So that cannon sitting at the bottom was really just a visible end of a much larger machine spread across the mountains. Once the bank collapsed, the miners still did not have gold. What they had was an enormous muddy slurry made of water, clay, sand, gravel, rock, and whatever gold happened to be buried inside of it. That material then had to be processed. And this is where the process became very similar to something much simpler that we're dealing with today. Gold panning. Gold is extremely dense. As I'd mentioned before, this little bit in this little vial is 0.5 of a gram. That may not sound like a lot, but when you really think about it, sand does not weigh that. So when you pan for gold, you are usually using water and motion to gradually wash the lighter material away, while the heavier gold then tends to stay behind. And hydraulic miners used the same basic idea. They just scaled it up massively. And instead of pans, they ran the slurry through long sluice systems. Inside these sluices were riffles and other traps designed to slow certain parts of the flow and give heavier metals a chance to settle out. The lighter sediment kept moving. The gold was more likely to stay behind. Because of the weight, it would sink, where other materials would float in the massive amounts of water that was blasting the bank loose, washing the material downhill and running it through sluices, then cleaning out the gold. In many mining operations, mercury was also used to help recover extremely fine gold. So that was another thing that I had learned while I was on this trip, is mercury will react with gold and it will absorb it, kind of like creating like a porcupine looking kind of a thing with the dust particles on it. Gold forms an amalgam with mercury, which meant that tiny gold particles that might otherwise wash away could be captured. It was effective, but it also left behind a serious environmental problem. Because we all know mercury is super good for the environment, right? Mercury was lost during the processing and contaminated mine sites and waterways. And that was not the only environmental consequence. Once the gold was removed, nearly everything else continued downstream. Clay, dirt, sand, all of that. We're talking about unbelievable amounts of the boulders, of the mud, everything the miners did not want. There were no dump trucks hauling the waste away. The rivers became that disposal system. And over time, erosion quantities of mining debris entered creeks and rivers. Channels filled with sediment. Riverbeds rose. Flooding became worse. Farmland downstream was damaged or buried, like we're seeing today, and other things. So again, just because we think it's a good thing at the time doesn't mean it's always going to be what we want it to be in the end. Let's see. Sorry. Yeah, I'm also curious, Dave. Is anyone else wondering what kind of PSI they can make naturally? JB says under a mile of water is 2,345 pounds per square inch. Under a mile of water. That is crazy. Again, 2,345 pounds per square inch, guys. If you don't, a lot of people struggle with wrapping their head around 2,345 pounds per little inch of space. So in a 3-inch pipe, 1 inch is 6,900. That'd be closer to 7,000 PSI in an inch of a 3-inch pipe. So we have to be aware of what we're doing to the environment when we're dealing with things like this. Crusader says, Mercury hats are all the craze. Yeah, right. Oh, boy. And eventually the conflict between the mining companies in the mountain and the farmers downstream became impossible to ignore. That fight led to one of the most important legal cases in the history of hydraulic mining. In 1884, a federal court decision in Woodruff versus the North Bloomfield Gravel Mining Company restricted the dumping of hydraulic mining debris into waterways. People sometimes simplify that by saying hydraulic mining was banned, and that is not exactly what happened. The real issue was the discharge of all that waste into the rivers. But because hydraulic mining depended so heavily on washing enormous amounts of material downstream, those restrictions made many operations financially or practically impossible. And that is why large-scale hydraulic mining declined so sharply. But the evidence of it never really disappeared. So today, some old hydraulic mining areas look completely unnatural. You can find enormous cut banks, exposed cliffs, and strange formations that look like they were carved by nature over thousands of years. But in some places, those shapes are the remains of mining done over a comparatively short period of time. And that is what makes this kind of history so fascinating to me. The mining equipment itself is only part of the operation. The entire landscape became part of the machine. The reservoirs stored the water. The dishes and the fumes transported it. The mountain's elevations created the pressure. The pipes carried the water downhill. And the monitors became the excavator. The sluices became the processing plant. The gravity did the huge amount of the work. And the rivers carried away everything the miners did not want. And after seeing all of that, there is something almost funny about coming back to a little old gold pan. Because what I am doing in that pan is really based on the same fundamental idea. Water, motion, gravity, and the fact that gold is incredibly heavy. The difference is scale. I am moving a few pounds of material. These miners figured out how to essentially the same thing in entire hillsides. They captured waters They captured water miles away, moved across mountains, stored it high above their working, converted elevation into pressure, blasted ancient gravel apart, ran that material through huge sluices, and recovered whatever gold was left behind. It was clever. It was powerful. And above all else, it was destructive. And like today, we have many things going on that seem like they're important technology advancements. But are they just another destructive move? And more than a century later, you can still walk through places where the land itself tells the story. I came out here hoping to find a little bit of gold, but what I ended up finding was much bigger. And the mountains what took the brunt of the story. And it may not always be the history and the mountains that take the brunt of it. Sooner or later, we need to start thinking about what we're doing with our hillsides and our mountains, our farmlands, and everything in between. Because it's getting crazy what we're doing these days. And just because it seems like the good thing at the time doesn't mean it's going to be in the end. Let's see. This looks like the chat's been kind of blowing up here. So, B says, men who don't think about what they're doing will often sacrifice long-term good for short-term gains. And that's what I'm afraid of in the current situation that we're in. We need to start thinking about the long-term and not what we're just getting out today. Stacy says, I was actually asking Edgar if we thought maybe he was playing with Mercury had an impact on me. Ooh, if he thought maybe me playing with Mercury. Dang it, were you playing with Mercury? I used to break thermometers when I was a kid and play with it. Oh, shit! Oh, that's an interesting theory. Explains a lot, huh? Stacy. Oh man, that's interesting. I've never heard of anybody having mercury poisoning personally, but I've heard of it being something that was a case. So I'm glad you're all right now. JB, yes, I love history so much that if I ever created a time machine, I'd go back in time, not to the future. Yeah. Yeah, I sometimes wonder if I was born in the wrong century. Because I definitely find a lot of things fascinating about the old timers and about the old ways and about the old things, old ways of doing things. All right, so with that being said, I don't really have much else to talk about. That's kind of the history that I found from hydro mining. So I would probably be open to opening it up to opening the panel like we tried to do. So I don't know if there's any mod that's available to vet. If there's anybody that wants to be part of the panel and ask me questions, I do have a lot of things that I should probably be getting to because I've been gone for a week and I have a lot of things that I should be taking care of. But if you would like to ask me questions, learn anything, I would be more than happy to open up the panel and allow people to come talk to me if you'd like. So it looks like Mr. B just jumped into the vetting room. So if you would like to be on the panel, we can talk about just about anything. Like, we don't have to talk about this trip. It's just, we usually talk about what I talked about on stream for the open panel. So that would be something that we can talk about. But again, if you don't want to talk about that, we don't have to. But if you'd like to be on the panel, please join the Discord. The description has the link, or one of the mods will probably drop it in the chat. Join the Discord. You'll have to go through the process of going through the rules in the rule page, getting to bottom of the rules. There's going to be a multiple potato emoji that you have to react to. That will give you access to the Discord in general. Once you get to the Discord, then in the vetting room is Mr. B. And if you've already been on the panel, you probably have access to the panel room. And it's just going to be in the Tater Talks panel room. If you'd like to join, feel free to just jump on in whenever if you can see it. If you'd like to join and you're not part of the panel room yet, then go ahead and go through the vetting process so we can get you in there. And then we can talk about anything. Crusader says they used to rub mercury in animal felts and made them into hats. It caused many to get what we know as Mad Hatter syndrome. I don't know if I knew that. Maybe I did. I can't remember for sure, but I want to say maybe I heard something about that at this point. When you say Mad Hatter, rub mercury into animal felts and made them into hats. That would actually make a lot of sense. Mercury is interesting stuff. So, you in one of those videos, you saw him doing with a bottle. Let me get back into there and I'll find that video so that I can show you, because I didn't even think about, because there was a lot of information, a lot of stuff that I was trying, because I was like, oh, this is beautiful country. I just love showing it. And there was a lot more information than just that I would like to share with you, basically. So we'll get back into this here.
Yeah, I like that push, dude.
So this is what's known as a snuffer. I called it a snoofer, just because I'm a potato. But it's it's used to snuff up the gold in your pan. And in one part of this video, if I can find that part, yeah, that's a decent part, looks like. You can see the whole bottle here. And this straw will go up into the bottle, maybe a bit past his thumbnail here. And what that allows for it to do is it sucks up it's like a vacuum, and it'll snuff up the gold. And then that gold will immediately sink to the bottom, which is now the top of the bottle, which is this little bulbous here. And the gold will sink to that spot. And then you can press on that and push water out to get more into your snuffer bottle. A funny story about the snuffer. I lost my snuffer probably 4 times in the week that I was there. Once while I was half drowning. I'm not going to lie, guys. It was a scary time. So my buddy is like 7 feet tall, like 8 feet freaking tall, like 9 feet tall, like 10 feet tall. I don't know. Anyway, he has a 7-foot like leg span. I swear to God, you have to take like 3 steps to get one of his. But he was walking through the river, and it came up to maybe his bottom of his ribs. I was like, oh, I got this. It'll come up to my nipple. I'll be fine. And I stepped in a hole. And it was so slick that I couldn't recover. I couldn't step back onto anything and step back up onto land. And so I just slipped. And I had my pan and my bucket with me. And I was trying to keep them so I didn't like lose something of somebody else's. And I just ditch them as fast as I can and try to swim. And I can't, because I've got my snuffer bottle in my hand and I'm not going to lose gold. Of course, my life is more important than gold. I know this, guys. You don't have to tell me. But it didn't change anything at the moment. I'm trying to hold on to this fucking thing. And so I'm trying to swim, and I have full shoes on because we're in creek that is basically just river rock. It's not river rock, sorry. It's bedrock. It's not even river rock because they've mined all that shit out of the river. So it's just bedrock that I'm walking on. And if I don't have shoes on, it's going to slice the hell out of my feet, kind of a thing. So I have full shoes on because my water shoes were garbage. And so I'm trying to swim with full clothes and everything. And it's not happening. And my buddy, his brother came with us, and he had a paddle board. and so gratefully that this savior came out and saved my life. Not really. I'm sure that I could have figured it out. I would have had to lose my snuffer bottle and maybe ditched my shoes. I don't know, but it was an experience, and it was concerning for a minute there. So when I say I'm grateful to be back and I'm grateful to see you guys, I mean it a great deal. But the snuffer bottle is just a bottle, so it has no weight to it. So luckily it didn't sink, at least. One of the other guys, I guess he has lost a bottle before because he had enough in it to weigh the sucker down, and he did lose his bottle. But that's how you collect gold from a pan, a gold pan. Because I didn't know how. When I first had that, I was like, well, now what? Now how do I get it out? You know, and he's like, oh, you need a snuffer. I was like, I don't have a snuffer. So he let me borrow his snuffer, and then we went to the store and got some new snuffers and things like that. But that's how you collect gold. So if you've never watched anybody pan for gold or anything like that before, it's a process. And it is interesting to watch how it all works and how it all goes down. But you can see all of the gold that's here and then all of the other precious metals that he has in this particular batch. Now, this was from the hard rock mine. We had crushed this rock. I don't think I showed you how we crush rock. That was always fun. So this was his rock crusher. And you can see that it would crush so this is a double crushing. I'd already crushed the rocks once and went through it again. And I have another video and maybe not have posted it on the Discord to be able to show you right now. But it's of someone else crushing, so I could actually like show you what it is. But this crusher they bought secondhand, and it's not supposed to have an actual motor on it, I guess, from what they told me. So they had put a belt onto this wheel here, which is the counterweight. And on this wheel, it used to have a handle that you used to have to crank to crush this shit. So again, all of his stuff, he's a small time guy, but he's trying to make his claim for himself, a name for himself, whatever you want to call it. So he's working with a lot of secondhand equipment right now, but it was fun. It was exciting to see the old equipment and not see what we're dealing with nowadays and all of the new shit that they have. Dave says, I was 100% born in the wrong century. I have far more in common with my dad than my brothers. That's fair enough. All right, let's see here. Let me check to see if there's anybody in the panel room. And again, anybody is welcome to join the panel if you'd like to. I do have a lot to do, so don't feel like you have to. I'm always open to talking with people, and I can always go do other things sometimes. And like maybe eat while I'm on stream and things like that. So please don't feel like you can't join, but don't feel pressure either. All right, so let's see. Wi-Fi. That reminds me of a river spot near Kowak Lake in California by Sequoia National Park called Slip Rock, and that spot has taken many lives. Ooh, fair. I'm glad that I'm alive. Is all I have to say. They had me. I have no doubt that there's no way I would have any harm could have come to me while I was on this vacation because of the people that I was with. I have a lot of respect and a lot of care for my friends that allowed me this journey, this trip. And so again, if you need any kind of HVAC in Utah, get a hold of me. And I'll see if he covers it, and we'll see if he can get you covered. And again, if you want to ever go to a gold mine, get a hold of me. Maybe he does do it, just $500 a day. And you can't be from the local area. So just get a hold of me and we'll see what we can figure out if that is the case. But we only have a few people. I don't really expect it to be something that's anytime soon. So I'll talk to him and figure out what I can figure out. All right, so let's see. Great nod to Spaceballs. Yeah, that's fair. Fair enough. I'm a movie buff. and I don't even know shit. What can I say? Sorry. I am tired, guys. It's been a long week. But I am excited to be back, and I am excited to share this with you. So again, if you'd like to come talk to me about it, feel free to come talk to me about it. If not, that's fine. If nobody comes in about 2, we'll probably call it a day. And in the meantime, I'll go back to some of the things that I have saved that I want to talk about for funny or for maybe not. One of the things that I wanted to talk about here is, let's see, a lot. Yeah. So this one was from that In-N-Out experience in little old Twin Falls, from what I was understanding. Let me get back into it here.
Video edited and blurred by police. Tonight, chilling.
So this is I watched a little bit, and again, if you don't carry, do what you need to, if you can, to go through the legal process to be able to feel comfortable with a firearm. We need more people, more responsible people with firearms in the community. Because this particular case, from what I understand, was stopped from one good guy with a gun. So maybe this won't be plastered all over social media. Maybe it's just in my little algorithm that I have. That's why I'm bringing it to your attention as well.
Surveillance video edited and blurred by police shows the Twin Falls In-N-Out shooting that claimed the lives of 3 and injured 7 others.
So 3 people passed in this. That is 3 too many. We're told that we're being covered by all of this different surveillance for our safety. And that pew-pews unalive people, and they should be restricted and taken away from us. But when stories like this come out, and you see what really ends up happening, that one guy, a good guy with a weapon, takes out the bad guy, because no matter what you do, no matter what you try, there'll always be a bad guy. Now, he may not have a pew-pew because you've somehow completely gotten rid of them in a hypothetical fairyland situation, because it's not possible. But if you did, there's still always going to be able to come up with something that acts or utilized like a mass casualty firearm. So we have to be aware of these, and we need to be making sure that we are safe, because we are safe. We know what we're doing. We have what we need. There was 2 people shooting okay. That's awesome. That's, again, good. I'm glad to hear that. I had only heard of 1. So if there was 2, that's even better. We do also have to be careful so we're not pew-pewing into areas that could cause casualties of innocent people, right? If you pull your firearm, it should always be dire necessary, and you, the responsible bearer, need to be aware of what is going to be behind that target for if and when that firearm projectile leaves that target and follows its path of trajectory. But you always have to be the one in control. But I plead that you get to that point. And I will do everything that I can to help prepare you. But we need more people willing to fire back. It was two, a survivalist YouTuber and an off-duty officer. Okay, so the survivalist YouTuber was the one that I had heard about the most. And yeah, I do remember the off-duty officer, because I want to say they cover that in this video here. So, good. Not saying that it's not good, but it's the one guy, the good guy with the gun that I was referring to. But yes, an off-duty officer is always good because, again, no defunding the police because of this. There are good police out there. We just need better vetting process maybe, or training. I don't know. But things like this give me hope for the police department. The ACAB, ACAB, whatever that is, acronym, I think is what it's called. No go. Like, we got to stop that because we can't give them all a bad name. They're not all bad. It's like everything. There's good in everyone. Like I've mentioned before, I just hate everybody equally. Ha 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 ha. No, I'm saying.
The 24-year-old shooter pulling up to the popular fast food chain's drive-thru window in a white Honda Saturday afternoon, shooting and killing employee Ashley Garibai. Next, calmly walking up to this vehicle with a handgun, killing driver Christopher Clonch. This man seen running to confront the gunman is then shot. Police say he's former Twin Falls officer Austin James Scott. He survives. The gunman returning to the drive-thru, firing more rounds inside. Police say his gun jams. He goes to his car and retrieves a rifle.
His gun jams and he doesn't take the sign. What an idiot. I'm sorry, but dude, this is why I say we all should be carrying, because every single one of these scared ants, I love all of you. I hope you're all right. Other than the three, unfortunately. Tragedy, guys. I don't care how many even got injured. It shouldn't have ever happened. As soon as it came out, it should have been somebody seeing it and going, no, not in my town. Try that in a little town. Maybe Twin isn't that little. I don't know. It's on the map, so maybe it's not little. I don't know. Like the place I just went to, it's not on the map. It's nowhere. It's a very small town. Like I said, there aren't very many officers. If there are any, it's state officers if you see them. And so I can understand in places like that, everybody carrying or whatever, but I really need you guys to learn because I don't want to see anybody like this. I wouldn't want to be in this position. I would feel useless. I mean, that crouching down behind a cash register while firing is. I mean, this guy's climbing over this counter. He's after him. Like, what are they gonna do? If they had their own firearm and somebody had just been able to just whip it out, friggin' start firing back, dude doesn't have any kind of control at this point in time. He's coming over the counter. This would be the perfect opportunity for this person to just stand right back up and just pop. Done, bro. You don't come into a restaurant with a gun exposed in your hand. Exposed is one thing. Obviously, open carry is safe to a certain extent. I don't recommend it. I recommend concealing it. You become the target if you're an open carrier. This is exactly why. So start carrying, please. Don't let this happen in your area. I won't let it happen in my area if I can help it. Right? Let's see. Boschman pew pew jams, but he still goes for it. Oh, brother, this guy stinks. For real, dude. Like, he's jammed. I gotta go get my rifle. Like, frustrating. Mr. B, we need to get to a place where people call the cops to come clean up the criminal, not because there is one. So exactly. If the gun comes out, if the pew pew comes out, there should be somebody immediately come pulling one out and saying, no. Either you're going down or you put that away real fast. Because I don't want to see people being just dropped for no reason if they're being stupid. But if you're being stupid, maybe you shouldn't be. I don't know. Survival of the fittest used to be a thing. What happened to that? What happened to the before the warning signs got put on everything and people were just being unalived? It does happen. So I don't know. JB, you get to fighting or you get out of the way. That's basically is the way I feel about it. Yep. Just get out of my way so that I can get the fighting on, I guess, at that point in time. Hey, more Cerotops. More Cerotops. Good to see you. I appreciate the engagement. Hope you're doing all right.
Inside the restaurant, sheer panic as this off-duty state trooper climbs over the counter with his gun, ushering employees to safety.
Oh, okay. My bad. I'd watched this and didn't pay attention who was coming over the counter. I retract everything I just said. Don't shoot that guy. Don't pew pew him. Hey, System Crash, good to see you. He's ushering you to safety. Don't pew pew him.
He and the gunman exchanging fire.
Potato guys, give me a break.
Outside, the gunman runs and falls.
Oh, he never gets into the
returning.
Maybe he never gets into the building. Hopefully they were that good. I guess it was something. I don't know.
To the window, letting off another barrage of bullets. Video recorded by a witness shows the moment Good Samaritan.
Exactly, Dave. Slap, rack, tap, bang. Trail people, train. Train people, train. That's right. Train. Seriously. If you don't have the like, it is expensive to train with fire, with live fire. So there are many ways of doing a dry fire system without ruining your firearm. Please don't go just dry firing your firearm over and over and over again, because that will ruin it eventually. A lot of the newer ones are better about it, but the pin will eventually wear and you don't want it. So there are systems out there that you can get a cartridge that will go into your firearm that will shoot a laser pointer. And I'm sure everybody's seen these this point in time. If you haven't, now you know. And knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe or something like that, right? But look into them if you don't feel comfortable with drawing your firearm, getting it on target, whatever you need to do. The dry firing system is amazing for that, for the accuracy, for the speed of drawing it, removing getting your clothes out of the way and drawing your firearm. And that gives you the ability to speed that up. And then when you go to the live range, remember it's going to be live and it's going to pop, but then it gives you the speed and the accuracy and all that reliability, right? Yeah, Dave, dummy rounds. If you don't want to go to laser strike, there are dummy rounds, right? Just straight dead rounds that are just rubber that when you fire, it just bounces your firing pin and not allows it to extend all the way out and ruining your firing pin. So dummy rounds, laser strike rounds, something like that to get you dry firing, and then go out and make sure that you go out to the live firing range and shoot and actually go pew pew enough to feel comfortable with that pop and that recoil and getting it back on target. Because you're not usually going to go pop and be done. It's going to be a pop, 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 and then you might be done. But there's going to be a lot of people that can withstand a few rounds before they go down. So in this video here, or in this picture here, you can see the YouTuber that was mentioned earlier being the one that was firing back at the gunman, the pew pew men. YouTube, I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, long story short, be this guy, please. So he was using what's known as a 5.7. I definitely want to get one of those from what I'm hearing the more and more about it. One of my buddies had brought one with him on the trip, and I was really hoping to get to go fire it, but I didn't. But it has a suppressor on it. So if you've watched any of these videos like I did, and he's like, pew, pew. And I was like, what are you firing? A little Buckmark 22? What are you doing? And then come to find out it was a 5.7. Those are actually pretty impressive firearms. I really want to get one, in fact. But they're like armor piercing and stuff like that. So this guy is actually, I don't know his name off the top of my head, but like I said, he's a YouTuber. So I wouldn't say don't go follow this guy. He's obviously on our side here. If I can ever find his name, maybe I'll post it somewhere. But definitely, not all heroes wear capes. Some of us wear hats and a vest. I don't know. Anyway,
and Jordan Salinas also engages the.
My bad. If I just shut up and listen for 5 seconds, George Salinas is what I'm pretty sure they said.
gunman. Forcing also engages the gunman, forcing him to run.
You son of a gun.
Moment Good Samaritan Jordan letting off another barrage of bullets. Video recorded by a witness shows the moment Good Samaritan Jordan Salinas also.
Jordan Salinas there. So if you are interested in watching someone survival, because I'll probably be looking him up. We all need to be watching more survival stuff, more ability to search for our own food, grow our own food, homesteading, right? So Barn Diesel is a good channel to be tuning into for farm content. Shepherd's Nook, she has sheep that she covers. See who else. I want to say even Beatrix was saying something about her being one that farms. Like, seriously, guys, we all need to be joining each other, helping each other out, learning how everybody is doing it. If you live in a small little apartment complex, you can still grow your own food to a certain extent. We need to all be starting to pitch in a little bit and trade with our neighbors. If you can only grow tomatoes and trade with your farmer or your neighbor that grows corn. But we all need to get back into the barter system, back into the gold, back into the precious metals, back into solid things that we can tangibly hold in our hand and say, we did this. We worked for this. Not this idea that we're going to get a chip in our hand or our head or whatever, and they're going to start to just say, "Oh, you have digital money." What is that? It doesn't exist. It doesn't. It never will. We've got to get away from that and start getting back into reality.
Engages the gunman, forcing him to run away. At a nearby Tesla charging station, the gunman shoots 3 additional people, killing Del Schultz inside his car. The shooter.
Now that's just sad. Dude was just sitting in his car, bro. What did he do to you? I don't know anything about why any of them do any of the things that they do, but why he did this. So from what I understand, this in and out, because I've been doing a little bit of research on this since, like I said, as I was driving, I was writing. I didn't drive. I got to ride all the time. This poor guy. I feel bad for my buddy. He had to drive so much just to come get me, but he wanted me to come along, I guess. I hope it was worth his time. Good guy. If you're ever in Utah and you need HVAC, seriously, hit me up so I can hit him up and see if he'll take on some more clients. He's a good guy. Needs the work, needs the money. Anyway, not needs the money, but everybody needs money. Anyway.
Entering a visitor center, you see people crouching down, hiding just feet away. He leaves, engaging outside with a brave employee who appears to talk with the gunman. Police say that man distracted him long enough, allowing others to get away.
To that young man, you are a hero.
Where'd he go?
So with that being said, if you don't feel comfortable carrying, you don't have to. But this is exactly why I say that we need to be kind to people. I don't know what was going through this kid's head. Like I was saying earlier, and then I got distracted. I've been doing a little bit of research on this, and this in and out, from what I understand, you can see this canyon here. From what I understand, it's placed right on the canyon, obviously, which makes it a not ideal spot for the in and out to be placed for traffic purposes. Because from what I understand, I believe you might even know about the Prime Bridge. Like there's jumpers and all sorts of people that base jump off of it, from what I understand, right? But it's only 4 lanes. It's not like the Golden Gate Bridge where it's 6 lanes long or wide, and you got so much traffic going over there all the time that it doesn't really matter what's on the inner part of that. But just on the Twin Falls side of that bridge is the in and out, obviously, because there's this close to the canyon running into the in and out. So it makes it not ideal for it to be placed. So maybe that's why the disgruntled person attacks. Maybe he's having a bad day. Maybe something happened in his life that sent him off the deep end, and this was just the opening days, and so maybe the most issues that he could cause. I don't know. But that brave soul that talked to him while he was sitting there holding this pew, talked to him and tried to understand him, may have been what saved people's lives. Probably was. So even if you don't feel like you can hold your own, stand up in the face of danger, doesn't mean you're going to have to actually stand up. And as I always say, trust in God. He will always show you what you need to do.
That way? The gunman is last seen going down a nearby trail. Officers running close behind.
Hey! Show me your hands!
This is the moment
Seriously,
officers
Stacey.
confront the gunman before police say he dies by suicide. Investigators praising not only the heroic actions of bystanders, but the enormous response by law enforcement.
This is by far the most extreme, complex, and dangerous situation that is completely unprecedented for our community.
Police took no questions during today's press conference. They say they do not have a motive for the shooting. The FBI now asking anyone with information to come forward.
So with it being stepped up to the FBI is just, it's wild to me, honestly. I understand that, from what I understand, Twin Falls is pretty small. It's on the map, so it's not small, but it's fairly small comparatively to like Boise in Idaho and even Pocatello, from what I understand. And so for that type of thing to happen in that small of a community, start training, please. No matter where you are. No matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, please start to train and start to be prepared for this when this comes to you. Again, I'm training for when it comes to me. I've been training for years now. But again, that's part of why I started my podcast, right? So if I purchase a DVD and I digitize it, but if that's copyright infringement. So if I purchase a DVD and digitize it, that's copyright infringement. But if an AI company buys my book, scans it, trains their system, and then destroys that book, that's perfectly fine, right? Once again, corporations are allowed to play by their own rules, and I'm sick of the hypocrisy. Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with this poster here, because I'm sorry, but this idea that there are massive amounts of historic books being shredded after being scanned into AI to train their AI models and no longer in circulation because this AI company wants the knowledge all to themselves, we've got to stop this somehow. Hey, Craig, good to see you. Good to see you. Appreciate you. Missed the show, man. I'm just kidding. It's a good show. You'll have to go back and watch it. I had a good trip. It was fun. It's exciting. And it was interesting. Exactly, Mr. B. You. Every single one of you are the best first defense against disaster. No matter what it is, you need to be aware that you are the first line of defense. I'm not sure who you're referring to, Craig. What's the name of the company? Not sure which one you're referring to. Sorry. All right, so this guy, so feminism and gentlemen shouldn't mix. I'm not sure why we've got so much of them.
Here are my non-negotiables for how men should treat women. Even though I've been single for 3 years, I still feel like I'm able to talk about it.
Bruh. I don't tell people how to date. I've been single. That's why I don't tell people how to date. You've been single for 3 years, bro. You can't tell people what to do to date. Oh my God. Oh, dang it. I donated plasma and my blood veins got bruised. Now, particularly my whole arm hurts. Dang it. Well, congratulations on donating plasma. That's awesome. We always need people that are willing to give for the greater good, right? Just be careful who you donate to. Obviously, I'm not talking to you particularly, Craig. I'm just saying in general, we need to be aware of where our donations are going. You look at a lot of these donation companies and their donations are not going to the needy. They're going into the CEO's pocket. So be aware of where your donations are going, blood, money, otherwise. Start to support those companies that you want to support. Be very aware of where your dollars end up at. When you buy from Walmart, you are essentially supporting the company or the political party Walmart supports. If you support a mom and pop shop, you essentially support the political party they support. So start being aware of where your money ends up at. With that being said, support those that you want to support. Stop supporting those that you don't. Because every time you support them, they can come back. Hey, Leah, good to see you. I can't don't feel like you need to donate. That's not my goal. I am very anemic. Yeah, don't donate if you can't, right? If there's a reason that you can't donate blood, you can't donate money, if you can't donate, don't feel like you have to. Just be aware that when you go to the grocery store, you are even donating to a party that you may not want to. But it's good to see you, Leah. I hope you had a good week. It was a long week for me, guys. If he was single by rejecting women due to having standards, that would be a little more credible. But I don't know if that's the case with this guy. Yeah, we'll get into it here in just a second. You guys are awesome. They don't want my blood, and I'm concerned about that. Yeah, JB, I feel bad for the military sometimes. If my digital purchase is only a rental, and it is possible for me to have it relinquish it randomly at a time, then digital piracy isn't theft. Yes, exactly. But taxes are. Love you guys. Craig says, my friend has the same opinion about being careful donating blood. I don't know what politics the place I donate to has. I know they show some advertisement of kids saying it saved their lives, including white American boys. Fair enough. And again, like I said, donate. We need donations because I believe taxation is theft. So we need to be able to donate in a different way so that those people that are in need have that support. For example, I am Christian. I believe in a 10% tithing, maybe even more. I'll have to look into that, into the Bible itself, to be able to really say how much money I want to save away for those in great need. Now, on my birthday, I had mentioned to you guys that I want to take most of the money that I have been given that I can spare. Obviously, some of it's going to have to go to bills, but 10% of that was saved immediately for my Lord. Where he tells me to spend that is not on me, but on those that are in need. So I'm going to start a fund for the community, for the people that are in need. For anyone willing to pitch in, put into the pot, for when someone in the community is in dire need. It'll probably go toward in front of a council of sorts to be able to get the privilege of being supported by the community members. But I would like for people to feel willing to donate and support instead of taxed and forced again. Let's see. So, hey, Bad Cramps Gramps. Yo, what up? It's good to see you. Good to see you. Hey, Kyle rode the dinosaurs. Really good to see you, man. One of my good supporters. So good to see you, buddy. The blood is probably going to Hillary Clinton. For real. Donate plasma instead of blood. You get paid for it too. Fair enough. Yes. Thank you for that feedback. Something that I don't know much about. I've heard people coming in. So when I worked at a call center one time for a long time, and people would come in because it didn't pay much money, and they would come in talking about donating plasma, and they'd just be like sitting there, just sitting there like a zombie. Because they're so weak from the plasma donating. And that's probably them. Please don't feel like donating plasma is going to make you weak or anything like that. It's just the fact that they had no money. They were donating multiple times a week or whatever the case was. But it was just so funny to me to see people so dire for money that they were like just making themselves zombies coming into work for a little bit of money. Like it was like $50 to donate plasma or something like that. It's like, that's not that much money really, but it is important. So if $50 isn't worth it to you, think about the lives that you will save, by donating clean, pure blood plasma, right? And I know a lot of people in my chat are purebloods. And if you don't know what pure blood is, do some research on it, I guess. But it's really good to see you guys. It's been a long week for me. Having casual encounters and hookups still teach you a thing or two about women. Plus, I learned about females partly by having a mom and sisters. That's fair. That is very fair. All right, let me get into this. You guys are awesome and I love talking to you, but let me show you this real quick.
Okay, number one, holding the door open. This can be an apartment door, a car door, whatever it is. If you're with a woman and there's a door in front of you, that door needs to be open for said woman, no exceptions. Number two, walking on the street. If you're walking the street with a woman, you should always be standing in between her and the street. You are standing in between her and the street, no exceptions. Number three, this is a big one for me, addressing her friends, okay? If you're with a girl and...
Thank you for that. I really appreciate that feedback. If you eat a proper meal before you go donate, it'll feel like another Tuesday. Thank you very much for that, because again, I don't want people to feel scared to go donate because it is very important. And if you just eat properly, it shouldn't affect you. Thank you again for that feedback. There have been a few people that have pointed out that they know what the pure blood is. Pure blood, hell, you would probably die if you got a ration of my blood. And that's exactly, but not exactly what I'm talking about, JB. Oh, man. Oh, wow. Yeah. So again, I don't know anything about it. So thank you very much for the feedback again. Bad Cramps Gramps. $1,300 in 2 months donating. That's almost as much as a freaking decent job these days. So yeah. Life hack. Yeah, for real. I might start looking into that. I don't know.
She's with her friends. You should be greeting her friends with the exact same enthusiasm that you're greeting her.
To have this guy already like start out, let's see, we're at 38, but he starts this thing out with bird hands. Where was it? Dude starts with bird hands. I'm just phenomenally flabbergasted by this idea. If I agree with about a third of what he's saying. So I want to be clear that when I am with a woman, doesn't matter if she's my woman or not, I will open the car door for her. I will open the door to the restaurant, to the store, to wherever we're going if I have the chance to do so, and if she doesn't become all feminist on me. And I have slapped hands in the past. But I don't agree with some of the things that he talks about in this particular thing.
The way that you treat a woman is exactly how you should be treating her friends. And that goes for family as well. Number 4, always pay for the first meal when you were together. I don't care how many times a woman offers to split the bill or to...
There it is. There's the frickin' bird hands. So the thing is, on this front, I don't care how many times she offers to pay. Women, I'm speaking directly to you here. If you don't want to pay, do not, I repeat, do not offer to pay. That sends mixed signals to the man that is honestly trying to do what you want him to do. I want to respect you. I want to pay because I want to be the provider. But if you don't feel comfortable with that expectation, if you don't feel comfortable with me paying for the entire meal and you offer to pay, you have offered the pay. And I will probably take you up on it because you have offered it. And by rejecting that offer, I run the risk of disrespecting the person offering it. So please understand, when a man wants to pay, he wants to pay. But if you offer, it sends out a mixed signal that says, you want to pay, and I want to give you the respect of showing you that I view you as an equal, where I will always pay if I get the opportunity to pay. I will always provide if I have the potential to provide. But we live in a very different world than what I grew up as. So this idea that always the man pays, I agree with. But women, please understand, when you ask us to pay, we will pay. So please just give us the respect of not offering and expecting us to turn that offer down. Let's see. All right. So chat is going off the chain, and I appreciate that more than I can say. I use the money to donate. I'd use the donation money for gas mostly. Yeah, that's freaking awesome. Like I said, that is a good place to earn extra cash. One of my buddies, he has one of those games on your phone. There's a bunch of different games now that you can earn real cash for, which is pretty impressive if you're lucky. He talked me into downloading it, and I started trying it out. It gave me like $20 to start, and I'm down to $9, going up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. Gambling is gambling. But when you're donating for a good cause, it is a good cause regardless of what you get out of it. And when you're getting the ability to have money for gas and have $1,300 in 2 months for a good cause, donating plasma is an impressive thing that we offer people. Craig says, don't get me wrong, being productive should apply regardless of the relationship or lack of, but I won't be territorial over women who aren't worth investing time into. Exactly, Craig. Ladies, I'm talking to you again. Please be worth it if you expect us to pay for the date. I have no problem paying for you. I have no problem paying for someone who isn't worth it. But you won't be seeing me again. And if I'm worth paying for you, you would think that I would be worth asking for a second date, which means you would want to see me again, which means you should be trying to do what you can to be worth it, ladies. I appreciate that, Leah. I am trying to be fair here, guys. I really am trying to attack women and men. Both. Men, start doing what you need to be doing to be worth the women being worth your time too.
Pay whatever You will be paying for that first meal no matter what if you're with a woman, okay? Number 5, her problems are your problems, okay? You hear me? If a woman is telling you her problems, that means
That's fair, Greg. That makes a lot more sense. Protective, not productive.
she feels comfortable and she feels safe telling you these things. So guess what? Those problems that she has, guess what? They are now yours. And whatever she feels about a said problem, you better feel that way 3 times more, okay? Number 6, if she has a bag, if she has shoes, if a woman is carrying something, you best believe you will offer to carry that. I don't care how little a bag or something is, you will offer to carry it no matter what. And if she tells you no, perfect, but you will at least offer. Number 7, always bring a jacket. I don't care what time of year it is, wherever you go, bring a jacket, not for you, but for the woman.
Hey, Beatrix, there you are. So good to see you. Thank you very much for your donation. I'm pretty sure it was you over the week that I was gone. Thank you so much. No, I didn't go to Alaska. That would be crazy. I actually went to California. Is where I ended up going. Little tiny town. Nobody even knows about. It was wild. It was a wild ride. Thank you so much for the engagement. It's so good to see you. You're always here. And I appreciate that so much. I stand by men being after. Sorry. I stand by men after being treated badly. Also, my daughter has started dating, and if he doesn't open the door for her, I'd be suspicious of him. Yeah, I agree with that, JB. So a little bit of back history on me before I started my podcast, before I got into VHX. Yeah. The place that I went in Cali was not what you would expect Cali to be. The people were amazing. It was very conservative. It was very not Cali. It was beautiful country, beautiful people. The people all there were so accepting. It was really good. Wi-Fi, who the fuck is this guy? Seriously though, this guy is wild. The shit he pulls in this video. But yeah, JB, I agree with you. Like before I started my podcast, before I found Andrew Wilson, I used to straight out say, guys are pigs. And I've never really had bad men to look at and say, those are the misogynist men that women refer to. And going to this week-long trip, watching the other men and how they treated their wives on this trip, there was not a single derogatory term toward their women. There was never go make me go make the food for the whole group. We're like, there was never anything. If anything, the women wore the pants in the groups that I ran with before I started my podcast. So looking back, I don't remember why I said guys are pigs, but I know that guys back in the day were essentially pigs. But women, what have you done to yourselves? You went, hey, hold my beer. Let me show you up here. And you've become something completely different. Not all of you. Please don't ever take what I say as a monolith, because that's just stupid way of talking. There are always outliers. And I'm really hoping that the women that I'm referring to here are the outliers. Show me that, please. Okay. Let's see. Thank you very much for that, Beatrix. I do agree to a certain extent nowadays. I am a guy, so I know how guys are, and that's part of the reason why I said what I said back in the day. But I'm also a man now, and I know how men are. And I'm seeing a lot of what women don't, I guess. Because there was a conversation I was just having the other day with a female about how misogynist men are, essentially. And I'm sitting here looking at my group of friends that are basically letting their women talk derogatory to them. I mean, they didn't. It wasn't that. That's not that. That might have been a misspoke. I'm just, the roles were reversed, if you ever even want to think of it as anything else, right? And I have a lot of respect for these guys. These aren't like, they're not like push around beta dudes. Like these guys, like there's one that he owns his own HVAC company. Physical labor dude, right? One of them owned a construction company like myself. He moved out to this area to get away from employees, to get away from people and just do it on his own. And that I have a lot of respect for. Another one, he owns a tattoo parlor, right? And if you ever want a tattoo in Utah, I can set you up with a badass tattooist. He did all my tattoos, and I'll vouch for that dude. He does good work, but he's in the Utah area, so you would have to probably be from that area or travel to get a tattoo from him. There we go. Yeah, Beatrix, some men are great. Exactly. JB, yeah, the women have changed, not the men. That's what I'm saying is like, it went from men being like, I'm not, and again, outliers, right? The guys are pigs concept that I was talking about was the outliers of the day. I just didn't see the majority. I was in a small town. I had a few friends. I saw what the women told me, and I was probably a simp at the time. Not so much anymore. We all go through the liberal phase, the idea that people can be good. And it looks like, yeah, it's 2:30. Shit. I just keep talking and talking. I told you I was going to end my stream at 2, and I just kept talking. So we won't be opening the panel because the mod jumped out of the panel room. So I appreciate him jumping out because that reminded me that it is past the time that I said I would end my stream. And we'll go ahead and finish this up. I appreciate the engagement in the chat, but I will go ahead and let you guys just chat amongst yourself for a minute. And I'll talk about this here in just a second. But yeah, Beatrix, men gave us a lot of the things that make women comfortable. If it wasn't for the men doing the hard work and being uncomfortable, women would have to be uncomfortable. And I would rather be uncomfortable than making my wife be uncomfortable and have her raise my kids. This is not a misogynist take by saying I want my woman to be allowed to be relaxed at home and taking care of the kids. It is not a hard job to be at home. I'm sorry to be the one to be the bearer of bad news, but it's not. The bear? I'm the bear? You choose me! Yay! I'm just kidding. Anyway, sorry. That was dumb. Moving on.
Okay, God forbid she ever gets chilly and you don't have something to give her, always bring a jacket. Got it? Number 8.
Hey, Mrs. K. Good to see you. Good to see you. Hope everything is going good. It's going real good. Better now that I have all my friends back with me, right? Honestly, it was a long week. Not saying it was a bad week. I had my moments. Not gonna lie. It was a long week and I got tired, but it was a good time, good friends, good sights, good people. And honestly, if you ever need anything in the Utah area, please let me know. HVAC, tattoo. If you want to go look for gold in California, you can't be from California. It might be able to be like from the different part of California, but I won't necessarily say anything more on stream. So if you want to know anything else, contact me in the Discord. If you're not part of my Discord, please join my Discord. We have so much fun. I don't know about the last week. It's been kind of dead. What happened, guys? I'm kidding. I was gone. That's what happened. You have to have me. I am Tater of the Tater Nation. I'm kidding. But seriously, you guys are Tater Nation. You guys are the ones who make this show possible. Yes, I come. I make a fool of myself for your entertainment. I really hope it's entertaining. But really, you're the ones who continue to come around and continue to watch me make a fool of myself.
Have a plan. Tell, do not ask. If you're with a woman and you're making plans, you make those plans and you tell her what those plans are. The last thing a girl wants is to have to be asked, oh, what should we do later? Where should we go eat? No. Come up with an idea and tell her what you are doing, okay? Women like to be led, and if she doesn't want to be led, she'll...
And that is fair, Beatrix. And that's why I won't say anything else on stream, on public record, but I wouldn't necessarily consider this Callie. Just an FYI. But I agree, Beatrix. Callie was rough. Bad cramps, Gramps. No, you're a tater. No, you're a tater. That's right. Oh, man. Yep, especially the elderly, Crusader. Exactly. Yeah, exactly, Leah. Everybody needs to go into the Discord and see the homemade Alfredo recipe that she dropped. It looks delicious. If you like Alfredo, her and Jay, I think maybe Jay even dropped one that was like lactose free or something like that. Seriously, guys, there's some awesome recipes going on in my Discord. We're going to have a movie night probably coming up this next Saturday because I was gone this Saturday. It was probably that, I don't know. We have Bible read on Monday nights. We have watch parties that are constantly going on. Voshmit, if you're in the chat, thank you again for all that you do with the watch parties. If you ever want a watch party going on, I would prefer me or one of my mods to verify, to approve. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. To approve the watch party that we do. Because again, we want to be respectful of other streamers. We want to be respectful of other people's income. This week especially showed me how much we want to be aware of other people's money, of where people earn their income and help people earn an actual physical income again and not go to the fucking digital currency idea. All right, so we'll get back to this real quick.
I'll tell you, but at least go and make the effort. Now, these are just the first 8 I could think of off the top of my head. There's plenty more, but to me, these are my non-negotiables. Let me know what you think.
So what he says here,
there's plenty more, but if she doesn't want to be led, she'll tell you.
So I agree with this part. I don't think I've mentioned it. I will fully agree that the men should start to take the lead again. I am one that's very bad about this. I will be very honest when I tell you this. I don't make plans very well. Going forward, though, I am going to do whatever I can because I see validity in that concept. Not because this dude said it, because I don't give a shit what this guy said. But the fact that you should be able to say, okay, this is our plan. Because back when I was a kid, that was the expectation. And I failed. I'm not going to lie. And I still scored, but that's not the point. The point is now we need to start getting back to respect and dignity again. And with that comes, okay, what does this person like to do? I'm going to learn that. I'm going to go through the process to make it happen. That's respectful for the person that you want to take on that date. Find out what they enjoy doing. Make a plan. If they don't like going to eat for the date, don't plan a meal. If they don't like going to a movie, guess what? A movie is off the table. Go sit down to eat if that's what they like to do so that you can talk. That you can get to know them. Coffee date, right? I'm not saying go and spend a lot of money on the first date. I will be behind Brian Atlas and all of those other people that say do a coffee date on your first date, but have a plan. We're going to go to coffee. We're going to go for a walk. We're going to go to the park and sit and watch the birds, and we're going to feed the birds or the doves or whatever. You have a plan. They're going to respect you a ton more for it. And with that being said, it's way past when I said I was going to end my stream. I just saw people gathering and wanted to give the people that are such loyal people some time with me because I've missed you guys. And I noticed how much the audience missed me too. I don't want it to ever come across that what I don't say is just because I don't see it. I watch almost everything that happens. So if you ever feel like you're not being seen, join my Discord and you will be seen. I will make sure that you're taken care of any way that I possibly can. Please like the stream, subscribe, share it. Please share the stream with people so that they see who I am and what I'm about and trying to bring unification back to people. Everyone has the possibility to find God again. And that's what I'm here to bring them to. God bless you too, Gramps. You're a good guy. I appreciate you being in my streams, man. JB says, plan pizza, then whatever. What? You don't like JB, bad. Fair enough. Crusader, thank you. I appreciate that, man. I really appreciate that. It really shows. I can't tell you what it means to have a community that actually missed me while I was gone. Not just family, right? I know my parents missed me. But it means a lot to me to come back and have you guys say, yeah, it's good to have you back. Give the people what they want. That's right. That's right, Vosh. I'm trying to give you what you want. So please understand when I say that, when I want feedback, constructive criticism, I don't care what you want to say to me. Come rip into me. I'm a potato. What can you say that's worse than me calling myself a potato? I just want to be better. I want to be better at what I do. I want to be a better person. I want to be better in the eyes of God. With that being said, I will keep you all in my thoughts and my prayers. Please take care of yourselves out there. Remember those Second Amendment rights within the United States, as your response time will always be faster than that of the police, getting all the way to your home. Those outside of the police, those outside of the United States, please take care of yourselves the best way that you know how. Because again, your rights are disappearing. And from what I understand, Spain is being invaded. And I will probably be trying to cover that. I was going to try to cover it while I was gone, and then I had no service. So, hey, Alexandria. Good to see you. I saw that you dropped out of the Discord, so I'm glad to see that you are still engaged in the chat. Thank you for the view. I appreciate it. Hope you're doing okay. I know that I was gone and things got a little hectic in my Discord, and I'll be taking care of things this week as I need to. So please understand that I won't be laying the law down, but there are some things that I want to talk to some people about. So we'll see what happens there, and make sure everybody's all right and everything's good on the up and up. And we'll see how Thursday ends up going, huh? Miss K, I appreciate you. You're a real one, Tater. I'm taking my Prego Lady afternoon nap, but good to see you all, wonderful people. And I'm definitely going to check out that Alfredo sauce, Leia. Take care and God bless. Thank you, Mrs. K. I really appreciate you more than I'll ever be able to tell you. And anybody, honestly. Y'all are so great. Jared Speaks. Hey, good to see you, man. It's been a week and it's been a while. I haven't seen you in a while. I hope you're doing all right. And again, if anybody doesn't know, Jared Speaks does have his own show. He has a few videos here and there and does a good job when he can. Too many notifications. I'm glad there's no bad blood. That's good. Too many notifications. I completely understand. Discord is crazy sometimes. But if you do like a good community and you want to join the Discord, feel free to join the Discord. And if there are ever any point where you're like, that's too many notifications, too many channels, because my Discord is extensive. And I did a poll before I left to ask if you guys wanted to revamp the Discord. And there has been a mixed signal. So I'm going to be meeting with my moderating team and see what we can do to make it better. Not change per se, but just more streamlined, more to the point. With that being said, if there are channels you just don't want to see, if there are too many Discord notifications, because I tell people this all the time, Discord is extensive. Like you can customize everything. You can not see channels. You can completely erase channels. You don't have to have them on the Discord list. So if you want to be part of my Discord and you just want to be part of like the 1 or 2 channels, we can make that happen. Something that I'm just learning, I'm just getting into the know about. So something I'm going to be trying to implement with this change. So just this isn't for anybody specific. I just want to put it out there so that as people watch this and they say, yeah, I like Discord, I would like to check out Discord, but it sounds like it's just too much. I'm here for you. I will do whatever I can to make it a good, comfortable place for you in my Discord. Because again, we have to have somewhere that we can collaborate, we can communicate, and we can contribute to each other to have a community. Once we get enough people in that community, my goal is to take that community and make it reality. Right? And if you don't want to be like in my presence, then I understand because I'm an ugly dude. But I'm a funny dude, so online I can have a bunch of fun with people, right? But with that being said, I'll get out of here. It's been almost 3 hours that I've been yapping about my trip, and I've had a lot of fun, so I wanted to share it. But with that being said, please take care of yourselves out there, and I will get the hell out of here. Christ is God, the King of Kings, and always will be. And of course, you could have been anywhere else in the world, but you were here with the potato, listening to me ramble for on and on and on. And of course, the potato, signing off.
Step to the circle, let the truth ignite. Every claim you swing better land tonight. I've sharpened my mind like a blade in the forge. Celtic fire in my chest, lightning pulsing in the chords. Your words dance pretty, but the logic is thin. I don't fight with feelings, facts always win. You want heat, I'm the storm in the north. Every sound wave I speak hits with thunderous force. Raise your voice if you think you're ready, but my stance stays grounded, iron steady. This isn't rage, this is reason in flight. A tool of the mind in electric light. I don't break in the clash of thought. My truth stands firm where the praise don't fought. In the roar of the crowd, through the charge of the night, I bait with a blade made of knowledge and light. Celtic hearts in fire in my spine. Argument of iron, unshaken by time.
I'll tear it apart. I don't swing at people, only claims with no heart. When the logic collapses, it's plain to see. The facts don't bend just to make you agree.
I'm not here to shout, I'm here to be clear. Truth walks with courage, not anger or fear. Your rhetoric falters, my reasoning climbs. I strike with precision, clean, sharp lines.
Stand tall if you want the floor, but reason beats volume every time for sure. When the dust settles and emotions fade, only strong arguments remain unscathed.
I don't break in the clash of thought. My truth stands firm with the praise don't fought. In the roar of the crowd, through the charge of the night, I debate with a blade made of knowledge and light. Celtic hearts and fire in my spine. Arguments of iron, unshaken by time. the bass line grows. Tin whistle rising like a wind that knows. Every claim you make, every point you try, cut through the noise with a mind held high. This isn't war, this is truth refined. Not a battle of fists, but a battle of mind. I don't break in the clash of thought. My truth stands firm where the praise are fought. In the roar of the crowd through the charge of the night, I debate with a blade made of knowledge and light. Celtic hearts in fire in my spine. Argument of iron, through reason I shine. Through reason I
I was born where the blacktop ends, where the pine line rises and the creek bed bends, where the sun breaks red through the morning haze, and the smoke from the fields marks harvest days. Out here every heartbeat's tied to the land. It's the kind of place only God could have planned. Folks drive through but they don't stay long. Guess you gotta be built for a place this strong. If you know, you know, no explaining it. This ground don't give, but it sure commits. 'Cause this is where God made me, where the storms roll out and the wind runs free, where the work hits hard but it shapes your heart, and the prayers you whisper ride the breeze. Yeah, the dirt runs deep as a legacy. This is where God made me. Found my faith where the river carved stone, where the choir sounds louder than the world I've known, where the lightning cracks like a warning sign, and the thunder answers in perfect time. Every fence post stands like a testimony. Every acre here feels like